Now, hot off the press, reading is officially cool again, and it's down to a brand new genre, apparently, that's seen books flying off the shelves at record rates. It's called Romantasy. It's a combination of romantic and fantasy. So think kind of Lord of the Rings meets Mills and Boon, that kind of thing. And last year, in the UK, we spent £27 million on this genre of books. Sales are still going up, apparently, so it's really, really popular. Why do you think people are so hooked on frolicking fairies and dirty dragons, whatever it is?
I know a few friends who are hooked on frolicking fairies.
What's it? Because, Colin, you've had a little read.
I have had a little look. It is a mixture of all of them. It's like Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, with a bit of spice thrown in. But actual fact, it's... I don't know. It's not actually for me.
Yeah.
It's too clever. Like, even the bit I read out then, I've had to think in the break what that meant. But, so, yeah, because it's all, you know, this one's about dragons and...
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that's got to be your thing, then, has it, do you think?
Yeah,
into
no,
that
absolutely.
Kind of, like you said, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones.
And all that.
So not me. I can't stand fairies
I like
and
Harry
dragons.
Potter, actually.
Yeah.
I'm just not into fairies and dragons and fantasy, and I've tried with Game of Thrones, because I know I'm in the minority, having not seen it, and I just think you're that type of person.
And it wasn't for me,
It's
so you're
just
not
for me. There's no colour in the clothes, there's nothing. And I like real life, you know. If I was going to read something a bit saucy, probably the sauciest thing I've ever read, that's such a nana word, but was years ago in the 90s. It was a book called My Secret Garden by Nancy Friday.
Oh, people are recognising that.
And it was a book of female fantasies. And smut. I was doing a series called Soldier Soldier.
Remember it well.
And I bought all of the girls this book for a first day present, and needless to say, they were missing from set for quite a long time.
What do you think, Janet? Would you like this kind of thing? Dragons?
No,
and
I can't
fairies
read
and
anything
romance?
where the women have got kind of ringlets and drapey clothes.
No.
Oh, no, I don't mind that. I love Bridgerton and all that, those type of...
Oh, yeah, but they're historic. They're historical fantasies. But I didn't like Tolkien. I didn't read
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings or any of that stuff, and I'm not a big fan of Game of Thrones. I mean, my favourite books, and I read all the time, are Scandi noir thrillers where a body is discovered, preferably in a Norwegian fjord. You know, it's really grim.
Cheery.
The weather's
Cheery
really miserable. I adore it, and I read it every night. And, you know, Henning Mankell,
But like Denise said, did you read saucy books? Like when you were younger?
Back in the day, yeah. Harold Robbins.
Carpetbaggers.
Carpetbaggers.
Yeah.
And then Jacqueline Suzanne, Beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
Valley of the Dolls.
Jackie Collins was good as well.
Yeah,
Jackie
Collins was fantastic.
Jilly Cooper.
Jilly Cooper,
which they're now
I
done
was more Jackie Collins, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen, talking about books, Bridget Jones. Bridget Jones is back, so is her diary. Now, apparently the film is behind a massive increase in the number of people now going out to buy notepads and journals to write down all their thoughts and feelings. You know, this desire now to write a diary like Bridget. And, Janet, I know, do you say diarist? A diarist?
I certainly have been a diarist, and I've got my diaries. I've got all my diaries going back to when I was about 12
Oh, I'd
or
love
13.
to read that one.
So journals or just what you're doing in the day?
OK, so the teenage diaries I actually did a couple of radio shows about, because there's diaries for what I was doing, and then there's diaries about what I'm thinking that are in code.
So your parents...
so my mum couldn't, couldn't read it, couldn't understand it. And then, so I had half a night in 1 year, I'd have 2 diaries going at once. And then there's the code for when I lost my virginity and all of that stuff that, you know, I've just about managed to decipher.
So you have to remember
it's a bit like triangulating what time, what day, where I was, you know. It's a bit like a police investigation. Oh, Mum had a thyroid operation, that's the day I lost my virginity. But I have kept them since, and I've also kept travel journals. Yeah. So every time I've been somewhere interesting, I've written a diary of what I'm experiencing in the place. And then when I've done long-distance walks, I've kept a diary of the walk. So the diary isn't just about nature
Yeah.
and all that. It's all a moaning about, you know, the pub was closed when I got there for lunch. It's raining again. I sat down to eat the sandwich and a pigeon crapped on the head. So
You say
that's all
about
in the travel diary.
Colleen and I, we were just chatting in makeup this morning, and then she pipes up with, yeah, when we were touring Russia, blah, blah, blah. And I went, sorry, pardon, you toured Russia? You never told me you toured Russia.
1986, 6 weeks in Russia, all over Russia as well.
Because you were saying you wrote letters then. But...
I wrote letters to my husband every single day, and he still kept them for years and years and years. I didn't keep the husband, but he kept the letters.
But imagine if you'd written a diary.
My sister Denise always wrote a diary, actually. I remember when I was younger, because we'd all share rooms, and as soon as we got into bed, I'd always see Denise writing it up. She loves writing anyway, and I kind of wish I did. And I love the fact now that Kira, my daughter, is making scrapbooks of all her travels. So it's not just, oh, look at this on the phone.
Oh, yeah, that's
She's
great.
done this whole
God.
scrapbook
That's
with train tickets and
Yes.
it's fantastic to
I
look
wish
at. It's so much better than phone.
when my dad died and we went into his sort of room, you know, my sister and I, it's the fact that from even like my first job, you know, my first play at drama school, and he'd laminated all the cuttings and kept it all. Then we'd find the old bit of a porn magazine, throw that away, and then go back to the lovely laminated things. I found a sort of journal that I'd written when the first time I'd ever flown. I was 20 and I went to LA with a friend, Bridget, that I was at drama school with, and I kept this journal which I found recently, and it was so interesting. I was a completely different person than I thought I was in my mind when I was 20. Completely different. But I just wish that I'd journaled. I have to have a paper diary now for what I'm doing in the day because I can't work it out on my phone. And of course now, a diary is on our phone because we've got Google and we can find some horrific things about ourselves.
Well, I love the idea of it. I had that one with a lock and key.
There's
Remember
nothing
your friend
like a notebook.
Very good for your mental health, last thing at
bothered.
night to write down everything.
Yeah,
Get out
should
your
do
mind.
that. Too tired by then.